Take a trip through Chongqing, a city in China you have to see to believe. China's center of culture, economy, and politics. Discover the ancient sites of Sichico, the Dazhu rock carvings, Fengdu Ghost City, and delight your senses with Chongqing's exquisite Sichuan cuisine and the traditional hot pot. Now enjoy 72-hour visa-free transit and get ready for the vacation of a lifetime. Chongqing, China's city of opportunity. Saturday, September 26th at 7:30 p.m. on ABC 7.
Cities on Earth. A place where ancient history collides with ultra-modern amenities. Where the natural landscapes surrounding the city are some of the most beautiful and mysterious in the world. With its unique energy and some of the friendliest people in China, it's a truly fascinating place. This is Chongqing, China's city of opportunity. Chongqing is a city on the rise, a modern metropolis of around 30 million people that combines international influences with a rich natural and cultural past.
Witnessing over 3,000 years of history, Chongqing is a city well known for its culture, with a beautiful natural environment and historic atmosphere.
It's one of China's 5 national central cities, recognized as a key political, economic, and cultural center. It's also China's biggest inland city. Lying in the southwest of the country, Chongqing is built upon mountains and partially surrounded by the Yangtze and Jialing rivers. The city's density of population and stunning skyscrapers, along with the fact that it sits upon 2 rivers, bring New York City to mind. And like New York, Chongqing is a megacity that serves as a major manufacturing hub, drawing people from around the world, not just for the sights, but also for business.
My husband works for the Ford Motor Company, and he was offered a position to be able to work at the transmission plant here in Chongqing, and we decided that we would take this opportunity to move here and experience what China has to offer.
And Chongqing's educational system is catering to this incoming global community, with institutions like the Yuzhong International School of Chongqing, also known as YCIS, which serves expat students aged 3 to 18.
There was a real need for there to be an international school that was really geared towards the local Chinese people, but still included a proper international education. YCIS has grown to be a significant international school with hundreds of students.
Once students advance beyond the secondary level, they can choose to attend Chongqing University, which has an enrollment of around 50,000. Many of those students part of their exchange program.
I'm from Sweden, like Gothenburg, Sweden. It's been great. You come to university and you have people from all over the world.
These international visitors will find a lot to like about Chongqing, from the women, who are said to be the most beautiful in China, and the friendly people who make Chongqing one of the safest places in the world, to the spectacular blend of architecture that mixes the ultra-modern with the ancient.
Chongqing is a very beautiful city. It's very different from any other city in China.
The city is the capital of hot springs. There are forests and rivers within the city limits. And visitors can also enjoy skiing in the mountains just outside of the city's boundaries. Chongqing can be visited in all seasons, and guests who arrive in the fall will find the city shrouded in a thick fog. On average, Chongqing has about 100 foggy days a year and is called the capital of fog. That dense fog, along with the steep mountainous landscape, helped Chongqing become the city of heroes during World War II.
During the Japanese invasion of China, they moved the capital city to Chongqing. And at that time, it was known as a city in the mountains or the foggy city. And what was an advantage during World War II is that the Japanese weren't really able to bomb this city, so it was perfect as a capital city for China.
Dig even deeper into the past, and you'll learn that Chongqing stands on the grounds of the ancient Ba Kingdom, and the people of the city have risen from the culture of the kingdom's Ba Yu people.
If you want to get a better understanding of Bayou culture, the Three Gorges Museum is a good place to visit.
The stunning Three Gorges Museum is an ultra-modern building that takes you on a journey through Chongqing's past.
When you go to the Three Gorges Museum, they reflect a lot on their history. People are very proud of where they come from here.
The museum celebrates everything from the pots, masks, and bones of the Bayou people to the local migrant workers called bongbong men, who will carry any package, any distance, slung from a stick on their shoulders. Men who can still be found all over Chongqing today, the embodiment of the hardworking people of the city.
It's the natural environment that bred generations of people. People would climb mountains and cross rivers to pursue their dreams, which endowed them with a personality of self-reliance, the spirit of the Chongqing people.
The Three Gorges Museum can be found within the People's Square, the most famous of the magnificent squares of Chongqing.
One of the things that makes them unique is how many people come together in these squares. If you find an open space, just sit and wait. Someone's going to move into that space and start doing something interesting.
For example, at certain hours of the day, groups of people gather in the center of the squares to dance. The People's Square is located in the center of the city. The Great Hall of the People sits on the edge of the square, a large center for political meetings and cultural events. Its traditional design is reminiscent of China's ancient classical dynasties, with its huge red-tiered dome resembling the Temple of Heaven in Beijing. Other notable squares are Tianmen Square, a modern landmark sitting at the convergence of the Yangtze and Jialing rivers, and Jiafengbei Shopping Square, located in the city's commercial heart.
If tourists are going to visit Chongqing, one of the best areas that I think that they should really spend some time would be Jiafengbei, that's renowned here in Chongqing.
In the center of the paved square sits the People's Liberation Monument, built during World War II to inspire the Chinese people to victory against Japan. It was renamed in 1950 to coincide with the rise of the People's Republic of China. And it's surrounded by ultra-modern luxury.
It's like New York with all these skyscrapers.
Thousands of stores dot the square, including huge shopping malls like the Metropolitan Plaza. This 7-floor shopping complex has restaurants, an indoor ice skating rink, and multiple high-end shops for clothes and other luxury items.
They've got all the designer stores, Gucci and Tiffany, Louis Vuitton. It's good, very good.
And when the sun goes down, Jiafengbei truly comes alive.
In Jiafengbei, there is something like maybe 6 clubs in just one area. So you can go out and join your friends in the clubs, and you get back home by 2, 3 in the morning.
Many of those clubs are karaoke bars called KTV.
Very few evenings out don't at some point either start or end with KTV. They take karaoke very seriously in Asia, to say the least.
Coming up, the traditional and the modern mingle in the middle of the city.
It's one of those things that makes you realize what's made Chongqing a very unique city.
Chongqing has numerous attractions for visitors, and transportation between all of these scenic areas is fairly easy, as the city is accessible by plane, train, bus, car, and cable car. Used by locals to get to and from work, there are 2 cable car routes in Chongqing, one crossing each river. Whichever one you choose, the 10-minute cable car ride is the perfect way to catch a bird's-eye view of the city.
It has a very scenic view that goes right over the river, which is really nice.
And believe it or not, because of its mountainous terrain, escalators are also part of the transportation system in Chongqing. Lianglukou Escalator spans nearly 370 feet, making it the longest single escalator in Asia. And one of the best parts about Chongqing is how these elements of modern China mix flawlessly with the ancient.
The juxtaposition between looking to your right sometimes and seeing such a beautiful big building, and then you look to the left and you see, the old traditional housing of the people that lived right on the river. It's one of those things that makes you realize what's made Chongqing a very unique city.
One place that's kept its ancient roots is Sichiko, a village a few miles outside of the urban center.
The town was established during the Northern Song Dynasty, so it has over 1,000 years of history.
While the bluestone paths date back over 1,000 years, the majority of the buildings were built during the Ming and Qing dynasties, periods during which many masterpieces of Chinese architecture were created.
The reason people come to this place is so they can recall the past. The beautiful scenes of old Chongqing lie here. So this place gives people a feeling of nostalgia. And for those people from outside Chongqing, this place can give a quick picture of the Chongqing lifestyle.
Sichiko means porcelain village, as porcelain has long been made and transported from the port town. Sichiko is also known for its old-style foods, like Chongqing's famous hot and sour sweet potato noodles, made from scratch, and handcrafted jewelry.
Chongqing is developing really fast, and Sichiko is one of those places you should not miss if you want to have a taste of the old and traditional Chongqing.
Near the urban center of Chongqing, you'll find another architectural gem, Hongya Cave, whose wooden hanging houses are perched above the riverside on raised wooden stilts, traditional in the Bayou architectural style. Located in the commercial district, the town itself is reminiscent of Sichiko, with traditional culture and foods like handmade rice noodles, colliding with the modern fashions sold in its stores. And to top it off, visitors are treated to a scenic experience that includes a natural waterfall called Hongya Dripping. Yangrenjia, or Foreigner Street, is located at Nabin Road, across the river from Hongya Cave. It's a quirky amusement park-like place that's famous for everything that isn't China.
Foreigner Street is a good example of something that China does quite well, and they look for ideas from the outside.
Foreigner Street's unique atmosphere showcases replicas of architecture from around the world. From the Swiss-style ski lifts, visitors can look upon a 150-foot model of the Great Wall, and even a miniature New York City. There are also bumper cars, a carousel, wedding halls, a steepled church, and an upside-down house.
Foreigner Street, I can assure you, will be a very unique experience.
For another one-of-a-kind experience, check out the view of Chongqing offered at One Tree Hill Observation Deck in the middle of South Mountain. This popular lookout offers visitors a panoramic bird's-eye view of Chongqing's Yuzhong Peninsula and provides an unforgettable experience, especially at night, with the beautiful glow of the city and the sea of lights below. Up next, quick journeys outside of the city hold famous battlefields, spooky statues, and stunning works of art. The natural terrain surrounding Chongqing is stunning. Mountains, rivers, hot springs, and breathtaking vistas make taking a side trip outside of the city worthwhile.
This elegant and unique city is in the mountains, and the mountains are beside rivers. Those great mountains and grand water create gorgeous natural scenery.
Tucked amongst all of this beautiful scenery are natural and cultural sites, showing a glimpse into the area's history. A few hours east of the city is Yuelai Town, located in Shizhou County, where visitors will be greeted with much fanfare from the local Tujia people.
The welcome ritual we hold for guests can be traced back at least to the Song Dynasty.
And once inside the town, visitors can get a feel for the Tujia culture, an extension of the ancient Bayou people, by witnessing a performance of the Shizhou Tusa, a traditional wedding ritual. and by seeing the watchtower that their ancestors built in times of war.
This watchtower was built in the early Republic era with a history of over 100 years. It was during the assemblage of rival regions and feuding warlords that the local rich squires built this most solid construction to protect their homes.
Another scenic area with wartime roots is Diaoyucheng, known as Fishing Town, a fortified hilltop just 25 miles from Chongqing, famous for its resistance to the Mongol armies in the latter half of the Song dynasty.
Chongqing people were so brave that they fought off the Mongolian military for 36 years consecutively. Thanks to these people, it slowed down the enemy's trek toward Europe, changing world history.
Today, the historic site is quite a draw for visitors as the battlefield city gate is well maintained, and the hilltop is also home to Hugua Temple, now a museum featuring period arts and the hanging sleeping Buddha. If you have an ailment, touch the corresponding body part of the statue, and it is said that you will be healed. Diaoyucheng also lies in the Hechuan district on the south bank of the Jialing River, which features the Yansa Wenfeng Tower at the end of the bustling Wenfeng Ancient Street, where you can peruse the local markets or take in an impromptu street parade. And the town lights up beautifully at night. 40 miles west of urban Chongqing is a historical site that can't be missed.
My favorite thing of everything we've seen in Chongqing are the rock carvings out at Dazhu, 2 hours away, but are well worth the trip.
The Dazhu rock carvings, an elaborate series of Chinese religious sculptures and carvings amongst the steep hillsides, were created from the 9th through the 12th centuries. There are more than 10,000 incredibly intricate and detailed carvings that remain. Many of the carvings are brightly painted and tell moral, historical, and religious stories of 3 different ideologies: Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism. One of the most stunning works is the Goddess of Mercy, an 800-year-old statue with 1,000 hands carved during the Southern Song dynasty. It recently underwent an 8-year restoration process and has returned to its former glory. To see the craftsmanship of this statue and all the others up close is breathtaking.
It was amazing because you could go into these little caverns and you could see these carvings from such a long time ago. Some of them are grand and big, some of them are small.
No matter the size, they're true works of art. So much so that Dazhu is listed as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO as one of the best preserved examples of Chinese cave temple art. A great way to enjoy the natural beauty in the region around Chongqing is a Yangtze River cruise. These multi-day cruises take you through spectacular scenery, like the Three Gorges, an awe-inspiring series of canyons stretching 120 miles, one of the top scenic spots in all of China. And many cruises stop about 100 miles downstream from Chongqing in Fengdu, home to the Ghost City.
The Ghost City is a place existing in Chinese myth, said to be the home and soul of the Chinese people.
The city contains shrines and temples that have been around for nearly 2,000 years. And visitors are treated to a tour of spooky structures, statues, and art depicting China's version of the afterlife, reflecting the town's motto that only kindness makes peace, and that bad people will be punished when they die. The testing point is the Nothing to be Done Bridge. When crossing the middle portion of the bridge, the virtuous will pass unharmed and the villainous will fall into the water below. So visitors are encouraged to use the outer bridges, which bring good luck.
People visiting can learn Chinese beliefs and values. It is in this place that people can learn where people come from, where they're going, and how to be a good person.
Throughout the tour, visitors are watched closely by the Ghost King, a sculpture carved into the side of a hill that holds a Guinness World Record title as the biggest sculpture carved on a rock. At nearly 500 feet tall and more than 700 feet wide, there is no escaping his judging gaze. Southeast of Chongqing, you'll find the Wulong Fairy Maiden Mountain National Forest Park. Located within the mighty Wuling mountain range, over 6,000 feet above sea level, it's one of Chongqing's top 10 tourist attractions.
It is a world-class nature heritage site with 300 million years of history.
Known by the nicknames Earth's Garden of Eden or the Orient Switzerland, the park has geological wonders like the 3 natural limestone bridges, vast canyons, and deep caves. It also has charming mountain grasslands, lush green forests, and free-roaming wild horses, and adventure sports like paragliding, ziplining, and whitewater rafting, all of which draw visitors year-round. And this is one of the few places where you'll find winter snow in Chongqing, making this attraction a popular holiday resort. Coming up, Chongqing's famous spicy Sichuan food, including its signature dish, the hot pot. Many of the incredible attractions in and around Chongqing are steeped in history and culture. But there's another very big reason to visit this amazing city that's also tied to the area's past: the food.
Chongqing food, you can't even begin unless you start with the word spicy.
Chongqing cuisine is a branch of Sichuan cuisine, the origins of which can be traced back 2,000 years. Known for its distinctive pungent and spicy flavors, thanks to liberal use of chili oil and the unique abilities of the local Sichuan peppercorns.
The Chongqing spicy peppercorns have a numbing effect. It's a new sensation.
And there's one dish here that is the city's true claim to fame.
Chongqing hot pot.
Hot pot.
Hot pot?
Traditional hot pot.
That's the best food you can ever have. It's the signature food in Chongqing.
Hot pots are popular Asian stews that use a variety of meats and vegetables. The Chongqing hot pot is the most famous variation, as they use a much spicier base and, of course, add those mouth-tingling peppercorns into the mix.
It's chiefly characterized as being spicy, fresh, and fragrant.
It's a dish visitors have to try. It's so famous, the city has even dedicated a museum to it.
There are details of the origins and developments of Chongqing's hot pot for 5,000 years in the Chongqing Hot Pot Banquet Museum.
The 3-story private museum has over 600 hot pots on display, as well as dining halls where you can feast on the dish or catch a performance of the famous Sichuan opera, which got its start during the Ming Dynasty.
Sichuan opera is a very unique style of performance that they do here in Chongqing. It typically involves elaborate outfits. One of the things they're very, very good at is being able to, just like that, have a completely different colored face, different painted on kind of expression.
Also included in the Hot Pot Museum are exhibits relaying the history of the dish.
Chongqing hot pot was invented by the boatmen on the dock of the Yangtze and the Jialing rivers.
Originally spiced up to mask the lesser ingredients that the poor fishermen would use, the ingredients have gotten much better with time.
Whoever visits Chongqing will surely want to have Chongqing's hot pot.
With the hot pot being the signature meal, you can be sure that Chongqing also has a signature drink: tea. The area is home to the Yungchuan Tea Mountain, growing over 3,000 acres of tea and nearly 10,000 acres of bamboo, and an abundant tea house culture, where the service of the tea can be a spectacle itself. Chongqing is famous for its long pot performances, where the server uses various pouring gestures to serve tea from an ornamental and practical long pot. The water pressure caused by the narrow spout is said to make the tea taste richer. As the Sichuan saying goes, here you will see more tea houses than sunny days. Chongqing has it all. Businesses and schools that are attracting international attention, a culture steeped in history and tradition, and incredible natural wonders that draw visitors from around the world. Throw in some ultra-modern amenities and architecture and a big old pot of really spicy stew, and you have a truly unique destination that welcomes everyone to come study, work, visit, and live. This is Chongqing, China's city of opportunity.
Take a trip through Chongqing, a city in China you have to see to believe. The center of culture, economy, and politics. Discover ancient sites and the exotic Sichuan cuisine. Chongqing, China's city of opportunity. Saturday, September 26th at 7:30 on ABC 7.